What's guys? Moody Fraser here with my godfather kind of speech. I hope you will able to understand me. Today we'll talk about how to make a 51, 52 kind of Telecaster. You know, it depends by your mental illness. I mean, it depends by how much you want to be close to the original one, how much you want to make a clone or an inspired guitar. So, obviously, it's impossible to make just the same guitar unless you make it by yourself. I'm not like the ones who thinks that those guitars as something magic. I think that it's just a matter of specs. So, firstly, you have to know which were the specs of the original guitars. So let's talk about the specs. I would make an inspired or a clone guitar just starting from the right one. So I made it from my Baja Telecaster. It was a Fender guitar which was coming from the classic player series of guitars, but actually, I mean, currently you can make it from a classic vibe Squire. It depends by how much money you have. So to be accurate, classic vibe Squire would be even better than this one to make a clone, because the classic vibe ones have the pine made body, which is the same wood of the first ones. Leo Fender was making the Telecasters, or better, the broadcasters or the no-casters with pine body. So the first ones were made from pine body. So actually the classic vibe would be even more accurate than this one, which is made from ash. Okay? Starting from the headstock, I didn't change the tuning machines, because these ones are Fender and they are pretty good. The ones over the classic vibes are not good like these ones, so I would change them with a set coming from Music Lily, the Music Lily Pro ones, which are just the same, just like the original, Cluson that were all over the vintage 50s guitars. So the nut, it's important, because the original ones had it made from bone. Most of I think that classic vibe has it made from bone, but you have to adjust it because the classic vibe ones are not made that well. Another detail that you should not, leave behind is the string guide, which should be a button kind of one. The classic vibe is that kind of one, and even this one has that. Classic vibe is not the right kind of neck. That one is much more like a modern C neck. This is the original neck from a true Telecaster, which is quite beefy, quite chubby. You should have even the 7.7 and 7.25 kind of fretboard. This one is 9.5. Even the classic vibe has that kind of fretboard, and vintage thin frets. This one has the medium jumbo, and even the classic vibe has the medium jumbo. As I told you before, you can't make just the one-to-one clone, because it's really impossible to find a guitar with that kind of specs. You should take a vintage ratio Fender, which is very, very expensive, and honestly many people are complaining about that ones, and it's not fun to just buy the guitar. I think that it's much more fun to make it by yourself. So, and this is for the neck. The bridge is important because you have to take a guitar which takes the three saddles kind of bridge with true body mounting, kind of strings mounting. It makes no difference, to be honest with you. It's much more a matter of feel. Originally, the saddles of the Telecaster were all parallel, so the Telecaster you can't intonate a very true Telecaster, the original thing. I hate that. So normally I use compensated saddles to intonate better my Telecasters. I just focus myself over the brass thing. So I like to have brass saddles that warms the sound a little bit, and we will talk about that in a moment. Usually the sound of a Telecaster, a true Telecaster, should be quite violent, quite trebly, quite bright. So the brass saddles, tames it a little bit, okay? Other than the Music Lily has a lot of saddles for the Telecaster, has a lot of beautiful bridges for Telecaster. He has even the 6 saddles conversion kind of bridge for this kind of vintage Telecasters. I don't like it very much for a vintage inspired kind of guitar, but if you want a perfect kind of intonation, you can use one of those which have the 6 barrel. It's not that clear that that kind of bridge is a 6 saddles bridge, because they are anyway saddle and anyway barrel saddles. So the overall look of the guitar doesn't change that much, but I like the 3 saddles kind of bridge. Anyway, Music Lily has a lot of bridges, a lot of kind of saddles, so you can choose everything you may like. So now it's time to talk about the important things. The ashtray cover is a plus if you want to have these kind of real vintage, if you want senseless kind of look, okay? Because every time you will play, you will take this one off. Talking about the real important things, you have to focus about the real sound of a real Telecaster, which is, I think, in my opinion, it's quite raw, it's quite violent, like, every Fender coming from the early 50s was not subtle, was not soft sounding instrument, were not soft sounding instrument. So this is quite terribly. You can hear very, very loudly when the strings hits the fretboard. So Telecaster wiring it's very easy to make, but Telecasters, first 51, 52 Telecasters were made in a, they had mainly 3 kind of wirings, so you have to choose which kind of wiring you want to make. So all the first Telecasters had 3 position switch, so this is not a problem. By the fact that they were made after the Esquire guitar, which had just the bridge pickup, just one pickup, the wiring was made after that kind of the wiring which was used with that only pickup. So you have just search for Birdcaster, Nocaster, Telecaster kind of wiring. Have a look to the specs and the working positions, and just decide which one you want to make. Everyone, it's quite easy to make, so it's not a real problem. You just have to choose. Personally, I like the modern standard one, which has the neck and bridge, and the bridge with tone and volume. There is another one with a blend control here, and there is one with no combined, I think, yes, it has not the combined position, the center one. It had the neck pickup with a fixed capacitor, the neck one with tone control, and the bridge one with tone control. So this is the and there was another one with a blend control, and I think that there was another one which was made even differently. I can't remember. Maybe there was another and the Esquire as a peculiar kind of position which has the bridge pickup with no tone control. You can maybe, I think perhaps you want to make an Esquire instead of a Telecaster, which is a great guitar, because it sounds different, to be honest with you, having just the bridge pickup. And I encourage you to you know, do that kind of guitar, do that kind of wiring, because it sounds really different from a two pickups Telecaster. So another important thing is the pickups. The pickups are the main thing to me, because the pickups are the ones which makes the real sound of the guitar. From a Telecaster, I'm expecting a very, very violent sound, as I told you before. So I need a pickup that gives to me that kind of raw sound, that kind of, you know, violent sound. For this guitar, which was made after a early 50s Telecaster or Birdcaster, Nocaster, whatever you want to make, those are Alnico 3 Telecaster pickups made from the Revival pickups, which will be available soon from Music Lily. I love these pickups because these pickups are the only ones which gave me that kind of sound. They are handmade, so I have this kind of pickups over two guitars. I love this. To me, this is the sound of a Telecaster. Those pickups are the Alnico 3 ones from the Revival pickups, are the only pickups that sounds like a Telecaster. So, or you can look for the original specs from the Telecaster, from the old guitars, and just choose the right pickups for your guitar, making a clone. But trust me, these ones are, you know, I think better Telecaster pickups I ever heard. Three-way switch, CRL, which is just the one which Leo Fender was using at that time. I don't know about the, coming from Music Lily anyway, I don't know about the knobs, I mean the pots, because I don't know if Leo Fender was using the 100K knobs at that time, just like the early Stratocasters. Anyway, I used two audio CTS pots, which comes anyway from Music Lily, and a 100 nanofarad tone cap orange drop, which anyway comes from Music Lily. Having that kind of, you know, tone knob that reminds me about vintage guitars. All the wires are the pushback cloth kind of wires, which comes anyway from Music Lily. All the guitar was made with Music Lily parts, other than the bridge, which was the Fender, you know, original one with the Fender typing, you know, engraved over the plate. So this is the way to make a, you know, convincing kind of inspired or clone. It depends, as I told you at the beginning of this video. It depends by the level of your mental illness. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So see you next time.